Welcome or welcome back to the channel. My name is Cariel, and today, as you read by that title, it's another story time. And yeah, your girl dated her eye doctor, so let's just get into it. I told this story time on my TikTok, and the girlies are going crazy. They want part 2, part 20, part 50. So I'm here to just tell the whole story because I don't want to keep, we got to go to the next story. Like, I want to tell y'all all the tea. This happened a couple years ago. I switched eye doctors, and we're gonna call him Dr. B. So Dr. B became my new eye doctor. I started seeing him for about a year and a half. One day I went to get like a regular eye exam, and when I left, he emailed me and told me to check the first page of my packet that I received that day at my eye appointment. So I checked the packet and it says call me with a number on it. I noticed that this was not the same number to the office. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna just call in the morning because I assumed he wanted me to call him during business hours. So I call him the next morning. The first thing he says when he picks up is, why it took you so long to call me? I'm thinking to myself, like, first of all, why is your assistant not picking up this phone right now? But okay. So I'm telling him, like, I thought you wanted me to call you during business hours. He laughs at the fact that I'm thinking he wanted to talk to me on some business stuff. And he's like, you know what? Let's talk in person. I want to meet you downtown at this restaurant. Y'all, Dr. B had money. So the restaurant was very expensive, very extravagant. My AC just cut on. Oh my God. I hope y'all can still hear me good. But anyways, so I met up with Dr. B at this restaurant. He waited outside for me at the door because he knew that I could not see in dark places. Like, this is my eye doctor. He knows everything about my vision. So once we get into the restaurant, he tells the waiter that we need a window seat. I didn't even have to tell this man nothing. He just knew. The fact that this man already knew that I needed a window seat, it just made me melt. Like, he knew how to treat me. He knew everything about my vision. We go ahead, we sit down, y'all. We talking, we getting to know each other. Y'all, this man lied to me. First day of us even dating, this man lied to me. So he tells me that I was at risk for having glaucoma. That made me have to come to the office and get tested over and over and over, like every 3 weeks, right? Because he wanted to keep an eye on my vision and make sure it wasn't changing. Typically, I would come to the office every 6 months. That's like normal. But after he told me about the glaucoma thing, I started going more often. So as we sitting down at the table and we're talking, he admits to me that he lied to me about me having glaucoma. He just wanted to see me more often. A part of me really wants to punch him in the face because why would you lie to me and give me anxiety like that? But I'm like, you know what? Whatever. It is what it is. Thank God I don't have glaucoma or I'm not at risk for it. So after that, y'all, I get a drink because I needed something to just relax me and get me through the night because what are we doing? We're talking and he's like, there's something I've been wanting to tell you since you became my patient. So I'm like, okay, like, just tell me. You can tell me anything. I was really comfortable with Dr. B. This is not his real first letter of his name, so don't even try to go look. But I was really comfortable with Dr. B, so I'm like, just tell me what you want to tell me. He was like, I couldn't stop thinking about you from the moment you stepped foot into my office. Like, I've been wanting to pursue you. I've been wanting to have a relationship with you from the moment I saw you. And I'm thinking to myself, like, I never dated an old man. Like, what's going on? Y'all, Dr. B was 65 years old. And when he said that to me, he was like, I hope that's not too old for you. I'm like, it's not too old. You know what I mean? Like, it's different. Dr. B looked really good to be 65. I'm not gonna lie to y'all, he really did. Y'all know those old men that still go running? That's what Dr. B was. Like, he was like he still lift weights. He just looked good and he smelled so good. Oh, he smelled so good, y'all. So anyways, let me scoot up a little closer. I want y'all to be able to hear me because this AC cut on and that's just real ghetto. I don't feel like turning it off either. But anyways, it felt like we was at that table talking for so long. So I look out the window. He was like, yeah, it's getting dark. I need to get you home. He already know. So we get the bill, y'all. That bill was fat as hell, but I didn't have to worry about it. Dr. B paid for everything. We leave out of the restaurant. I'm holding his hand. I don't know if I'm holding his left hand or his right hand because I honestly was a bit over tipsy and I couldn't remember, but I felt a ring on his hand. Mind you, he had just told me that he was single at the table because I'm single, so what you doing? Anyways, we get into the car, y'all. His phone was vibrating nonstop. He kept ignoring it. It's about 9 p.m. at this point. We get to my house. He walks me all the way to my door, right? So I hug him around his neck because I'm like, and I tell him, thank you for the night. Like, it was a really nice night. I really appreciate it. I'm hugging his neck, y'all, and then I let his neck go. He continues to hold on to my waist. I'm like, damn, can I go in my house and go to sleep? Because I'm a little drunk. Like, so he was like, he looked down at me and he was like, I'm a little bit too drunk to drive home. I already knew what this man was getting at. I'm not dumb. I already knew what this man was getting at. So I'm like, you know what? He is 65. Plus, when you're sitting down, y'all, I'm literally telling this to myself. I'm like, plus when you're sitting down, the alcohol does hit you harder. Like, I don't want him to drive home. I don't want his old ass to get into a car accident. So I tell him, okay, cool, you can stay. You can stay tonight. That night ended exactly how you think it ended. So boom. Everything about our relationship was perfect, y'all. This man spoiled me. He did everything for me. I was living a life. I'm not gonna lie to you. Everything was going good up until this one day. I went to his house, and he had a fat ass house, but I will always go straight upstairs to his room because I don't have any other business in any parts of the house. So I go straight up to his room every time. On this day, I overheard him talking to his chef downstairs, and the chef was like, oh, Kim requested this for dinner tonight. Are you okay with this? Like, I want to make this. So I'm like, who the fuck is Kim? I don't think he knew I heard him because the house was big as hell, but it was so quiet. Like, it was only us three, me, him, and the chef in the house. So I was able to, girl, my ears are so strong because when one sense is down, baby, the other sense is strong. I said to myself, Cariel, don't say nothing. We're not going to say nothing. We're just going to let it go. I lied to myself. When that man came upstairs, I said, who's Kim? He lied to me and said, oh, that's one of my daughter's names. Lies. He forgot he told me all his kids' names. Anyways, so we get into this big argument about trust and that I should trust him and that blah, 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 blah. We stopped talking for a week after that because I was so pissed off because I remember I felt a ring on your finger. So, like, tell me the truth. I just didn't know for a fact if it was on his ring finger or not. So I didn't want to blow up. Plus, we was fresh into the relationship. So I'm like, I'm just going to take his word for it, whatever. So we get into that argument that day. We stopped talking for a week. I link up with my ex, baby, because if Dr. B going to do his thing, I'm going to do my thing. Are you serious? I link up with my ex, and we did what we did. I ended up having to go to the office to pick up my new glasses, and Dr. B was at work. I didn't know he was going to be at work because we were not talking at the time. So we didn't speak to each other, and there's another reason why we didn't speak to each other either. You going to see at the end of the story. So I get my glasses, I leave. He texts my phone an angry emoji. So I respond like, well, what's wrong? He said, don't worry about it. I'm going to come pick you up when I get off work. Be ready. I'm like, okay. 5 p.m. that day rolls around. He comes pick me up. He says nothing to me. I get in the car. I'm like, hey, haven't talked to you in a long time. What's been going on? He looks at me and he continues to drive. This man says nothing to me. I can tell something's wrong with him, but I'm like, okay, whatever. So I get into my phone. We pull up at his house. We're sitting in the driveway. He looks over at me. He says, what's that on your neck? Oh, girl. I said, what are you talking about? I honestly didn't know what he was talking about. Like, honestly, I didn't know. I'm looking down at my phone. I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. I'm looking down at my phone. He grabs my phone. He said, I said, what is that on your neck? I look at him. I said, I don't know what you're talking about. Can you give me my phone? Like, because what we doing? He grabs my chin like this, turns me towards him, and he says, what's that on your neck? Because it was on like this side. So I'm like, instantly I'm like, oh shit, my ex put a hickey on my neck. But I didn't know. Like, I didn't know. I bruised so easily. I'm continuing to play dumb because at this point I'm realizing what he see, but I didn't want to I didn't feel like getting into it. So he gets out of the car, walks over to my side of the door, opens my door and say, get out the car, go in the house. There was like neighbors outside, and he was the type to not argue in front of people. So I'm like, damn, this man is funny. So I get up, I go in the house. He comes upstairs, but it takes him a while to actually come to the room where I'm at. And once he does come in the room, he throws my phone on the bed, and he was like, unlock your phone right now. My phone was locked for 30 minutes because this man tried my password too many times. You could have just asked me up front. You didn't have to go off and try to, okay. I'm telling him like, okay, I gotta wait 30 minutes because you tried too many times. He takes off his jacket. He walks over to me and he says, either you unlock this phone, you tell me the password, or you're going to leave my house without a phone. This is why I don't like for a man to do everything for me, because they get so entitled and they feel like you're their property, baby. I get up. I grab my phone. I grab my purse. I said, you know what? I'm not going to do this right now because you're the one living a double life, and I'm not going to give you my password until you tell me the truth about your double life. He's like, what double life? What double life are you talking about? I've been telling you the truth since I met you. I'm like, nah, something in the buttermilk ain't clean. So I leave out the door. I said, you know what? When you're ready to have an honest conversation, call me. So I'm walking out of the door. Y'all, this man grabs me by my arm. He slings me back into this corner of the hallway. He gets into my face. We're literally this close. His nose touching my nose, and he's literally yelling at me at the top of his lungs, like, where you been? You got this hickey on your neck. Where you been? I need to know what you've been doing. Blah, 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 blah. Going on and on and on. I have no words. I'm literally just staring at him. This is the first time we've ever got into he's never been this fucking mad at me. Out of nowhere, his phone starts to ring, y'all. He keeps ignoring it. He don't even look at the phone. He keeps ignoring it. So he finally looks down like the 4th time it's ringing. And I'm guessing it was his job because the way he was talking once he answered, told me that had to be his job. So he answered the phone, he walked off. Girl, I took my ass down them big ass flight of stairs and I went down to sit into the G-Wagon because I need some fresh air. My phone finally allows me to type in my password after being locked for 30 minutes, and I'm trying to get an Uber. As soon as I look up, I see him getting into the driver's seat of the G-Wagon. I'm like, oh my gosh, fuck. He looks at me, he hands me a stack of money. He was like, do you want to go get that nail fixed that I just broke? I'm looking at him like, are you dumb? Of course I want to go get, So I grabbed the money. He put the keys in the ignition. He said, can we just go eat and let's just forget about the night? Y'all, oh my God, I hate the way food really fixes my problems, but it really do. Like, I could be so mad at a man. If he going to get me something to eat, baby, we could talk about it later. Like, we ain't got to talk about it right now. So I'm like, okay, whatever. We stopped by my house before we head out to eat so I could get freshened up because I wanted to get cute. We always go out to eat to like these crazy expensive restaurants. So I like to look presentable. So I go get dressed. Girl, we went out to eat. Everything was really, really nice. I'm not even gonna lie. It was so nice. And we ended that night the exact way you think we ended the night, baby. All right. So the next day I woke up. He was not at my house, but I had like a whole bunch of roses just at my front door. A couple months go by. It's time for me to get another annual eye exam. I go into the office and I sign in like normal, whatever. The secretary looks at me. She says, I like your necklace. I like your necklace. That's a really nice necklace. I said, oh, thank you. My man bought it for me. You know what I mean? My man. Young and dumb. Oh my God. So I'm like, yeah, I love it too. She was like, girl, attitude out this world. So I didn't pay it no mind. I just went and sat my ass down. I'm like, okay, whatever. Like, I don't know what she got going on. So Dr. B comes out and he calls me. He was like, oh, there's my favorite patient. Cariel, come on back. So he calls me back. I go back. Everything's like normal. He's doing his little flirting while he's examining. Ghetto. Anyways, my exam is complete. Once I walk out, y'all, the secretary looks at me and she says, are you dating my man? Like, are you sleeping with my man? I'm like, who? I'm looking around because I don't know who she's talking to, but I'm literally the only person standing in front of her. She's like, yeah, are you sleeping with my man? I said, who is your man? What are you talking about? I'm literally laughing at this lady in her face because what are you talking about? I have never been in no situation like this before. Dr. B is literally standing right behind me and he was like, Kim, please don't do this right now. I said, who? Wait, hold on. You said who? Who? Oh, this man said, Kim, please don't do this right now. When I say my mind went blank, my ears went, I blacked out. I said, this is Kim? Are you serious? This is Kim? Like, this is Kim? She's like, yeah, I'm Kim, his wife. We've been married for 17 years. 17 who? That was almost my whole life at that point. I have no words. I turned towards Dr. B. He knew exactly what I felt in that moment. And I just walked out. Because why everybody's mouths in that office dropped to the floor. I was so embarrassed. So embarrassed. You're not about to embarrass me like this. There's no way this is your wife right now. No way. I leave out, child. Blowing up my phone. All that night, blowing up my phone. The next day, blowing up my phone. I'm ignoring this man. I ignored this man for like 2 weeks. I kid you not. No, I kid you not. When I get so serious about not fucking with a nigga no more, like I cut him off, he's cut off. 2 weeks go by. He pulls up at my house. Unannounced. Nothing said, nothing, just pulls up at my house. It was like 8 p.m. at night. He just pulls up at my house. Bangs on my door. Boom, 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 boom. I said, oh my gosh. What this man want? I'm through with you. I'm done, finito. I open the door. We need to talk. What we need to talk about, Dr. B? What do we need to talk about, Dr. B? Let me stop playing. I'm like, what we need to talk about? Because this is ridiculous. There's no way you embarrass me like that in front of everybody. Mind you, I also changed my doctor that same day. Never went back to his office. Are you kidding me? No way. He's standing at my door. We need to talk. I'm so sorry. In tears. This grown-ass 65-year-old man in tears. I grabbed my door shutter. He said, no, we need to talk. Push my door open, child. Push my door open. Walks in my house. We need to talk. You've been ignoring me. We got to talk. I gave you your time. It's been 2 weeks. We can't just end it like this. Yes, we can. What do you mean? Trying to grab my arm because I'm pulling away. He's trying to grab my arm. We need to talk. That's all he keeps saying. I promise y'all, that's literally all he keeps saying. We need to talk. And all I'm saying is no. Fuck out my face. Get out my house. This man is grabbing my arm. too tight too at this point. I'm like, you're hurting my fucking arm, let me go. Like, I don't have time for this. He lets me go, and he's like, please, can we just talk? I'm so sorry. Gets down on his knees, child. Gets down on his knees. I'm so sorry. I just been wanting to apologize ever since. I'm sorry. I should have told you the truth. I can't believe I embarrassed you like this. I'm sorry. I just didn't know how to tell her that I want to leave her and be with you. Please, sir, get out my house. I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this. Like, get out my house. If I give you another week, will you talk to me again? I said, yeah. I said it just to get him out my face. Yeah. He gets up. He said, can I please have a hug? I give this man the churches of churches hugs. I'm walking behind him. He's walking out my door. He turns around. He said, you promise you're going to talk to me after a week. I shut the door in that man's face. Fuck out my face. Was you serious? I felt so embarrassed by this man. I wanted to get back at him. I'm not gonna lie. I wanted my revenge. Because what you're not gonna do is play with me. I really fell in love with this man. It had nothing to do with his money. For real, I fell in love with him. Girl, I'm sitting in my house drinking some Casamigos by myself, and I'm sitting here thinking to myself, like, how can I get this man back? I gotta get him back. I cannot let this go. So I thought of the perfect idea. The next day, I knew he would be at work. I knew his schedule to the T. I pull up at his house. I knew when that house would be empty. I knew when his kids would be home. I knew all of it. Knock on the door. Because I knew he wasn't gonna be home. But you know who is home? His son. His son had just moved with him. Not moved with him, but he had just came back in town because he originally lived out of town. So he's home visiting, right? And so when I knocked on that door, his son answered the door. I said, is your dad home? Because I need to talk to him about something. He was like, oh no, he's not here. I said, okay, well, he had something for me. Can I come in the house and get it? He left something for me. I knew Dr. B's lunch break. I knew everything. I knew he would come home in a minute, baby. Dr. B usually gets back to the house 12 p.m. on the dot for lunch. I knew that. He didn't know that I was his stepmama. He didn't really know. He knew me and Dr. B was cool, but he didn't know the details of it. So I'm acting like I'm looking for his dad. And I tell him, oh, there's something he left for me in the house. Can I come get it? Can I come inside and get it? He said, sure. Like, I don't know where it's at. Just go upstairs and get it. I said, okay. His son was in the living room watching a movie. So I pretend like I go upstairs. I actually did leave a pair of earrings, but I didn't care about them earrings, child. I knew what I came to do. I said, can you help me? Because I can't find the earrings I'm looking for. He said, okay, sure, like, sure. He comes upstairs with me. He's walking behind me, girl. I'm dressed in something really tight, really cute. Ah! And we get to the room. He's helping me. I bend over in front of him. I'm looking for I said, oh, I'm like, I just cannot find these earrings. It's so annoying. I know this man was staring at me because it took him a while to respond to me. He was like, oh, because he was standing behind me. He was like, I'll look for them for you. Y'all, the earrings was right on the nightstand. My earrings was right on the nightstand. It was some earrings that he had just bought me. And when we got mad that day, I left them. So he grabs the earrings for me. He was like, here they go. So I was like, oh, thank you so much. Like, you said that. And I hugged him, right? Y'all, his son literally melted. Like, he was like, oh, you feel, he was like, what you doing later? Like, I said, oh, I don't have anything to do today. I just was running a couple errands. I was in the area, so I just stopped by to get my earrings. I said, what movie are you watching? I could just chill with you. I don't have anything else to do. So we're sitting on the couch, and he offered me like a glass of wine. Oh, my favorite wine too, Stella Rose Black. But anyways, Dr. B finna walk in this house at any moment, so I gotta make my move. So I'm rubbing his leg. I'm like, this movie is so good. Oh my gosh, this movie is so good. We sit on the couch. He got his arm around me. So I lay my head on his chest. That makes a man melt. We got this big cover on us on the couch. His son started to go down on, he went down on me, y'all. His son went down on me, baby. Just when we about to really get into it, Dr. B walks through the door. We hit a key. He jumps up. I don't budge because I know he's coming. Mind you, his son is like 30 something. I forgot to mention, his son is like 35. He comes to the door, y'all. He says, what? The way the living room set up, he just saw the back of my head. I turn around. He said, Cariel, are you serious? Are you serious? His son's so confused. His son don't know what to do. He's like, what? Because he didn't know, like, me and his dad had something going on. He just know me and his dad was cool. He thought we were friends, just friends or whatever. So, y'all, this boy literally gets up, runs to the bathroom, You're 30 years old. What you scared for? And it's just me and Dr. B. And I'm just sitting there staring at him. Because, yeah, what's up? What's up? No, but for real, what's up? So he's staring at me. I'm staring at him. He said, are you seriously going to do this to me? You serious? And I'm like, yeah. This man grabs my neck. You know when somebody grab your neck, it hurts. Because, like, he didn't just grab my neck. He said, and dragging me upstairs. His son runs out the bathroom. Dad, let her go, let her go, let her go, let her go. He said, you're really gonna do this to me? You gonna, my son? Yes, your son, bitch. I'm just playing. But y'all, that ended our relationship. After that day, I never spoke to Dr. B again. He got the picture. Just like you hurt me, baby, I hurt you. Period. But I hope y'all enjoyed this story time. I hope y'all enjoyed this story time because I know it was crazy, but that's my life. I will catch y'all in another video. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't be fake. Don't be fake. All right.